How y'all doing, people? This Devon Comments on the author of, the vacay. Actually the story was about, a quick summary about the story, about Carrie and Frank, two main characters that goes to a cabin in Blairstown, New Jersey for a 15th anniversary. And like strange things started to happen, right? Like secretly with Frank, which is Carrie's boyfriend. They're not married, but they have a 15th anniversary. But like Frank was a cool guy. He was a doctor and stuff like that. He helped cancer patients and stuff like that. And like 1 year, that he had a client, a patient, that he was taking care of. And the siblings failed to like pay the patient bills or lack of health insurance. And they really found Frank and kept him in those cabins, for some reason. And he really died years ago before he met Carrie. But Carrie really didn't know that he really was dead. But he tried to let her know once they entered the cabins and started their getaway trip and stuff like that. But stuff was happening inside the cabin with different people dying and stuff like that. And plus a creature that wished it was Frank. And that really was imaginary friend, which was Frank. The creature was. And thing was happening in those cabins, but thing really was happening like it was like happening present, but it really was like in the past. But Frank really wanted Carrie to really see what really happened and really see what the people did to him. But she was so terrifying and like weird, like brainwashed about things was happening. She was like really new to that, but like Frank really was dead, and it just it's a good story, and I just hope y'all like like the story, and like it's just the first story that I could just bring out, and just get feedback with it, and I do got other stories that will come out, fiction, horror, suspense stories, sci-fi, and stuff like that.
So what was your motivation for writing the story? It seems like it's kind of like a ghost story almost, kind of, right?
Well, actually, I'm start off my thoughts, because I was 14 years old, I started writing short stories and stuff like that, and my daddy knew that I was writing short stories, I was writing stories, but before I write screenplays, I was writing stories. I would sit down, just watch a lot of horror films and stuff like that from Stephen King, Clive Barker and stuff like that. And I started writing, in which that's my twin brother, he was writing. But I just liked it like horror films and I liked it like sometimes I could just go outside and just look at or even just look at like somebody will fight or like any event or something like that I could just write about. And just pick up and write about it. I can just sit down and think of something, just think of a good idea and just start to write, But I just get my good thoughts from Stephen King, how he make it and try to make mine different, and interesting, like a good classic,
Because I know a lot of authors pull stuff from their personal lives into their books. Did anything happen to you growing up that kind of draws you to do horror stories?
Well, yes. I was staying in the spot before I moved from Decatur, Glenwood to Lithonia, a couple years back. It was a woman, a guy that I met. I think his sister did voodoo or whatnot, and it was a woman that night. Me and my mom was outside, and I was talking to other guys across the street, and they was seeing the woman walking down the street with a big stick, and it was kind of terrifying, But when she got to the end of the street, she kind of disappeared, But I don't think people believe me about this, but this really happened, And it really draw me into making more horror pictures, more horror stories, give me more plots, and it make it more interesting for me. For me seeing it from my own eyes,
Just writing in general, what made you fall in love with writing?
When me fall in love with writing, watching a lot of horror films. it just got me. I want to make my own, and plus it was in me. What actually me and my brothers to play when I was real little. We used to play movies. think of a title to it and be so many characters in that movie, you know. So like one day we just started writing stuff. Which my dad, he had purchased a book, a screenplay book, you know, try to put in the acting class and stuff like that. But when we started like playing our own characters and stuff like that, we started writing on paper. And I think that was a cry from God, you know, a gift for us just to pick, because you could think of something, but you gotta know how to be creative with it when you put it on paper from the beginning to the end, you know. And some people can't really do that, you know. So you gotta go deep into it. So when I write, I enter that world. When I write, you know, when I enter that world, I do like 2-3 hours a day when I'm writing, but I come out of it, you know. And I try to write as much as possible so I can't get writer's block, you know. So that's why, you know, I come up, that's why I started, you know, writing, which is hard for me by doing little stuff me and my brother was doing, like making movies ourselves, and not with camera, but just doing it. And we started writing stuff on paper.
For the future, do you plan on doing more stories like this one, or do you plan on doing?
Yeah, some stories it might don't be horror or something like that. I might want to do it like a drama or something like that, you know. Or more suspense thriller, not just all the way horror, you know, all the time. I want to reach other readers that just don't read under that genre, you know. I want to reach other readers out there, you know. But I could make a story about my life situation, my family and stuff like that. But you know, yeah, I'm gonna try to make it different, you know, just horror genre. You know.
I know you say you used to read a lot of Stephen King and stuff. Why do you? And this is your first book, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of, like, why do you like horror? Like, is this something like in your life that kind of draws you to that type of storytelling? Like, what do you like about it?
Yeah, because with horror, actually easy to write, you know, and like you could, like, horror is just like kind of just fun to me. Like, I mean, it really interested me. I just can't sit down. I mean, I could watch like other like drama series, Law and Order, stuff like that, but every time I like come on the TV or anything I watch, I look up a horror genre, because horror is just like interesting me. Like, it give me like thought. When I look at a movie and it's a good plot, a good story, I might want to like reverse that and try to make it, you know, my way, make it better, you know, what they did or whatnot. But Stephen King, Clive Barker, I mean, you know, I like their stories, and that's how I be like want to become a writer, you know, and how they did theirs, how people adapt their stories into movies and whatnot, you know.
Do you eventually want to your stories to turn into movies?
Yeah, eventually, you know, and see that come about, you know. But I got other stories that will, you know, just coming up next, you know, that will scare and that will be very interesting than The Vacay. Not saying that it's not a good story, but I got other stories that will be better than The Vacay, you know.
Okay. So tell me about like the setting. Like, why did you shoot? You said they in New Jersey, somewhere in New Jersey. Like,
yeah, New Jersey, because actually, when I was writing, I want to see like what location that, you know, I could pick these characters, I could start it out. So I kind of look up like what they did, the location when they filmed the movie Jason, like Friday the 13th Part 1, how they did, and I seen the like the cabins and, you know, the lake. So okay, you know, that's my location. I want it there, you know. Our vacation there, you know. So that's how I came up with that location and set on the plot, you know, whatnot.
Okay, cool. Is there any like why should people read the book? Pretty much.
Well, why should people read the book? Because first, it's a good story, and it got two good characters, you know. They draw you in, you know. You want to see what's really going on. It's a twist, you know, and I just say it's a good story, man. I mean, it's a great twist to it, and it's the first story that I was thinking about, you know, a year ago, and I just brought this to life, and it was good to me, and I hope, you know, anybody out there, you know, would like it too, you know.
Like where do you see yourself like 10 years from now in terms of like writing stories and stuff?
Well, I see my stuff in like Hollywood, like, you know. I can see my vision right now, you know. That's why I started and I tried to make that come to life, you know. But right now I see myself like, I don't even see myself work for nobody. Like, this my job, you know. Like, I'm gonna beat this, you know. I am that. So I just see myself in a great spot, you know, meeting other authors and writers, screenwriters, directors, and all that. I see myself in that category, you know. Yep. Even a couple months from now, a year from now, you know, I see that.
Like, anything just you want to let people know why they should get the book? How?
Well, it's a good book, y'all, and I just hope that I draw a lot of readers into this like slight interview, you know, whatnot, about me, myself, and about my book and how I got started, you know. And actually, you know, it's like, you can do anything through Christ, you know. Anything is possible if you want to do it or whatnot. You just gotta pick the work and just do it and bring it to life. It's like anything, acting, books, or music, you know. Just bring it to life. You just can't just let it sit on it and just keep talking about it. Just do it. You know, you never know where it leads. You can look my book up on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. You know, my publishing company, which is called iUniverse Publishing Company and stuff like that. And it's on more sites. I really don't know, you know, because this is my first time in this book world. But I know it's on those sites right now. You could look up my name, which is Devon Commons, or look up the book name, which calls the Vacay, and it'll pop up, you know, and it'll be the same cover, you know, and that'll be me.